Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to just chat to you guys a little bit and hopefully share my heart on really what I felt the Lord share with me with Jeffreys Bay and children in a whole. And we can only do this together. So just a quick who am I? I am a wife to an amazing husband. I have 3 beautiful children. And I absolutely love Jesus. I love community. I love relationships. And I'm absolutely passionate about children. Children have really gripped a huge part of my heart. And I really believe as adults and as lovers of Jesus, we need to stand up for them and take responsibility for them. And they're just so vulnerable. And I think, it's really our role to step in, stand in the gaps for these children. A bit of my background, you'll see Ruth in the water there in 2017. My history in J-Bay, I came and did my gap year in 2017, Victory Gap Year, and it was a year that really shifted my heart completely. I went from dreaming of becoming an actress and traveling the world, which might be lovely, but my heart really shifted, and God gripped my heart that year for children and reminded me of the love that I have from children from a very young age, and just what a difference we can make in their lives. And I really believe if children are impacted at a really young age, we can mold them and really lead them and guide them into a much different and better future. I did my gap year in 2017, absolutely amazing here. And then in 2018, I started a little babysitting company called Need an Hour Babysitting Services. It was a very special time. Steffi, there was a bunch of us young women. We'd take care of babies in town. It was really awesome. I created a bit of a standard of babysitting. And at the same time, I was waitressing at the good old faithful Nina's. So ran a babysit. I would babysit an au pair from like 8 o'clock in the morning until 4 o'clock in the afternoon, shift into my Nina's outfit, and waitress from like 5 until 11 midnight. And that would be my day. Wake up, run around with kids, shower, waitress. Was a jewel. Very fun time. There was also an amazing time. And and then in 2019 we started Kingdom Rise. It was first called Need a Day Creche, and Kingdom Rise is now a preschool where we started. It was first just a place where moms would drop off their kids to go do their hair or whatever, and it's now become a full-blown 7 to 5 preschool where I'm just so passionate about the environment children grow up in, where we nurture them, we teach them about the Lord. We just absolutely love them, and they are obviously stimulated, learn a lot, play a lot, and it's just a safe environment where they can be kids. I think in today's time, it's so important to nurture environments for children where they can just be nurtured and absolutely be loved. So, hello. Awesome. So that's really what's led me to House of Promise. It was last year, over a year ago now. We were at a conference, and at the end of the conference, I closed my eyes and I vividly had this picture where the Lord showed me the world map, and then it like zoomed in onto Jeffreys Bay, and I audibly heard him say the words, "Jeffreys Bay will be orphanless," and immediately I was like, "What on earth is happening?" And I prayed about it, spoke to people about it, and at that very time, I didn't sense the Lord move me to do anything. So I kind of put it on the shelf, and I said to the Lord, well, whenever, whatever, He must lead me and guide me, and tell me, what can I do to help make what He said a reality? And it's probably a couple of months ago now, I drove past the house, and it's right by my preschool, and I stopped at this house. I was like, I have to get this for my preschool because our town is booming. I'm sure you've all seen beautiful fresh babies everywhere, and we don't have any more space for our babies at our school. So I looked at this property. I was like, yes, I need to get this for my school, and immediately felt the Lord say, this is not a business opportunity. This place can be a place of safety for those children. And He reminded me of that the word He spoke a year ago, saying Jeffreys Bay will be orphanless. And I stopped in my tracks. And again, started praying, speaking to people. And then there was a very rapid movement. I started building awesome relationship with social workers, and quickly realized there is such a huge need under my nose. Hearing of 12-year-old pregnant girls in Wavecrest, hearing of so many desperation and so many stories in our little beautiful town that we all so adore and surf and do all these fun things. In the very same essence, there's such a need where God just really started stirring in my heart again. What can we do? What can we do to trust, to really make these words become a reality, that it's not just a dream and a vision anymore. Some statistics in the Eastern Cape in 2025, so last year, there were 3,000 abuse cases reported. Out of those 3,000, it's very hard for cases to be reported, so it's not even an accurate number. It is actually a lot more than that. In the Eastern Cape alone, over 400,000 children have lost either one or both parents. And in Koga alone, there are 550 kids in foster care at this very point. Those are reported numbers again. And then, there are 3.7 million orphans in South Africa. That's just and I think statistics is always an interesting thing. It's good to see numbers, but in my mind, I physically see these little bodies. Like, I can't actually picture 3,000 little babies or children being abused. Like, it's such a harsh topic because we're very sensitized in today's world. We don't want to hear all the bad stuff. I think that's also been sometimes quite hard for me. It's like talking to people, you can hear people almost get a bit distant or something, because we want to remove ourselves from the reality. And the very sad thing is that it's a real situation for so many children, and without us as adults actually taking responsibility, they can do nothing about it on their own. Not to see a number, but every number, to really make every number represent a little child that you know in your mind. So what we are trusting for as House of Promise, it's not, I don't just have a dream for a house. I think it's an awesome little tool that God can use, but it's much more than that. What we really want to do as House of Promise is we want to raise awareness. I think the first, when change happens is when people know about things, speak about things, see things, hear things. So we really want to raise awareness of, obviously it's a huge need in South Africa, but we want to start with our little Jeffreys Bay, our Tokyo Sekwale, all our beautiful little areas with all our beautiful children. We really want to start right here. And I'm really trusting for a blueprint that we can replicate in other towns, in areas that can eventually impact South Africa. Because I just know this is so God's heart. And we want to educate people on adoption, place of safety and fostering. People have very different ideas. So I also often see this picture, like there is actually a huge pool of people wanting to help, and then there's a huge pool of children needing the help. And where do we cross-pollinate? Like, how do the people that want to help find the kids that need help? Like, how do we? So House of Promise is also a bit of a bridge. I'm sensing that we are just closing that gap. But a big part of that is educating people that want to adopt and foster and have places of safety. There's so much terminology, so many different things. And we really want to educate people. For instance, many people that want to adopt don't realize that fostering a child, yet it carries like a small risk of that child being placed back in their families. We want to create support around people doing these things, because it's not, oh, let me adopt a kitten, beautiful, really awesome, but it's really huge. It's obviously a very heavy impact on the family and on the child. I think oftentimes people don't want to do these things because of the fear of when that child goes back, but just realizing that huge impact you're making in that little child's life, whether it's for 3 months. I have a friend that fetched a little baby yesterday. It's been so inspiring to me, because she signed up to be a place of safety, and that's just for 3 months. So a place of safety is for 3 months. And it's just so selfless. And I think that is all good. Great. It'll find its feet. But so being a place of safety, I just think it's so selfless. You have this little baby for 3 months. Where would that child have been? The amount of babies found in rubbish dumps or crazy places, like, it's a life. And I think and I'm a mom now, so these things touch me a lot more than they ever used to. It used to be more statistics, and now it's such a reality. So we really want to educate on the different things of being a place of safety, fostering, adoption. A lot of children aren't adoptable. There's a huge crisis. A lot of people that want to adopt, there's a huge crisis on adoption, because most kids aren't adoptable because parents have to sign them off, and but they're alcoholics, so they can't, and they want their kid, but they physically can't. So yeah, it's really just that thing again of like standing up for the children. I think oftentimes the parents are at the interest, but the child needs to be at the interest because it's their life. And yeah, so we want to start educating more. And we want to support people that are busy fostering or are being a place of safety. I want to also encourage people, like, the more that people receive support, the more people can do it. Like, it's a huge financial burden on a family. So if you know of a family, to support them in any way, to take a meal, take clothes or formula, or whatever it could be. But if you physically can't do it, I don't believe every person's called to physically be that. I think there are more people that are called to do it than what we think. But physically, every person isn't perhaps called to do it. But in some shape, way, or form, we can all play a role, whether it's financially or time to help pick up children or whatever it may be. But yeah, as House of Promise, we really want to support people that are already doing this amazing work in our community. And then, yeah, last but not least, we really are trusting to purchase a house to become a place of safety. I think, we definitely want to do all these things, raise awareness, create education. We want to help people. But as an organization, we're really trusting, we're stepping out in faith, like radical faith, to buy a property here in Jeffreys Bay, so that we can create all of that and create a very safe environment for these children. Ruth, I'm not sure if I'm on time, over time, under time. Great. But this is, I'm hoping it will load. This is the property we are so trusting for, and we're really standing in faith to be able to purchase this property. Long story short, the owner has been so kind. She gave us time to raise funds, and we have 2 weeks left. Someone else put in an offer, so it's been a bit of a different process, but I'm trusting for a miracle. It's literally actually a miracle. But it just so excites me. There's a main house, and then there's 2 flats, and the most amazing thing to this for me was there's a beautiful garden at the back. A huge thing on my heart is oftentimes children in foster or systems or whatever settle, and what God's really put on my heart is that these kids don't have to settle. I want these kids to run and play free in a little playground. I want them to be able to kick a ball and jump and be children. Like, one of my biggest heart's desires is to see children be a child, because most children grow up in environments with alcoholic parents or drug addicts or see things they shouldn't see. And so I don't want a little walkie where safety isn't enough. I want them to thrive. I want them to absolutely run free. I want them to encounter the love of Jesus. And that's really my heart, to be able to get a place like this, not for them to just all be stuffed into one little room and, they're alive. Great. No, we don't want them to be alive. Not enough, not nearly enough. So we're really trusting the Lord for breakthrough, for absolute miracles, and I know that He can do it. Is there a Q&A at the end, Ruthie? This is the last little thing. A big thing for us. My friend Meg, beautiful friend Meg over here, actually it really made it a reality for me. We live in such a huge world, and again, I actually think we have such a beautiful community and heart, and as humans naturally we should incline to have a good heart, and I actually think people do. And she told me 100,000 people, if 100,000 people sponsor 30 rand, which is as much as a cup of coffee, that house could be bought like overnight. And in my mind I'm like, surely there's 100,000 people that could trust with us and could step in and sponsor their 30 rand to be able to purchase the house. Again, the house isn't going to make Jeffreys Bay orphanless. So that's the biggest thing I want to emphasize, is it can only happen together if there's a community of people seeing the same vision, because that house can only take so many kids, but we actually need more families. We need more people to step out, to say, I'll be a place of safety for 3 months, I'll foster for however many years, I'll adopt. Like, we need more people. That is actually the heart of House of Promise, is to get more people stirred and get more people to ask the question, where is my small role in this place? Is it sponsoring a box of formula to a family? Is it whatever it looks like? but at the same time we want to physically do that act and trust for blueprints. So I really believe in, if we are able to get this property, we'll be able to start creating a blueprint that could replicate, because it will be a symbol in towns and in places where hearts are stirred and motivated, because that small house will be able to help a couple of kids, great, but also have a bigger picture of really stirring a community and stirring people's hearts to do these things themselves. So I don't know if you guys have any questions. This is a scan. If you want your 30 Rand will be a huge difference. Our deadline is on the 14th of August, so we have 2 weeks. I'm not going to make this happen. If it happens, it is so the Lord, but 30 Rand makes a difference. And I'm not too sure if any of you guys have any questions. There's a Q&A, Ruthie.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to say something for 1 second while you guys can think of your questions. Just a huge thank you to Mikayla for this, and I think it's such an important thing to stir in us, especially as a community and as a district. Like, what is our small role to play? So does anyone have a question for anything about her path? Dustin, take us away.
Mikayla, are you using social media to push this out? You are,
yes.
And you're boosting?
I'm not paying or boosting anything.
Okay, because that's the secret.
That's a great...
You've got to use that AI algorithm, and I know it'll cost you or whoever helps or contributes, but there's such leverage to boosting on social media through the AI algorithm that it's got.
Yes.
You've got to try that.
Okay,
you have
I'm
to
going
try
to do that.
Second, how big is that site? What is the site?
The size, oopsie, I do have that.
The garden, I just want to, is it 2,000 squares?
It's around, so it's quite large. I'm sure it's over 2,000.
Okay.
Definitely over 2,000.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely. That's exciting.
So the main house is a 3-bedroom with quite a large kitchen. There's like a whole room to do laundry. Absolute beautiful. Yeah. And then there's a 3-bedroom apartment upstairs with its own kitchen and lounge. Yeah. My other thing is, a lot of people are willing to take children under 3.
With you.
Long term, I want to be able to take in those 8-year-olds that nobody wants, or 10-year-olds that nobody wants, and those flats are going to be able to accommodate for that. So then there's also a 2-bedroom flat at the bottom. So in total it's 8 bedrooms. So
stunning. I think because of the cause, if that house falls through, something better will come through.
Yes.
You must always just, you've got to have that in your mind, preloaded, so you're ready.
That's awesome, Justin.
Magic.
Thank you.
Very, very
with the social media, I've reached out to some influencers, which has been beautiful. But the paid, we'll have to get into that. Thank you. We'll definitely do that. Yes.
How many kids can you keep in the house at once, and for how long? Does each of that?
So you have to, there's a registration process and then they'll be able to confirm how many kids, and we can only register once we have the property. What the government is trying to do, they're trying to move away. So we don't want to be a huge organization. I really believe, so even with my school, we want to start small. So we also want to be sustainable. So we're going to just start with the main house. You saw the main house on the left. It's a separate entrance to the flats. So the idea is to start very small. So the idea is to have 6 kids to start off with in the main house, and then the 2 flats would be great if I can show you. If it loads. But the 2 flats will actually be rented out at first, just to generate some income to pay, because we'll have a full-time, it's a house mom. So this on the left here is a main house, so 3 bedrooms. And then there's actually a little flat in the house. So the full-time mom would be staying in the flat, but she'll be living there. And then I'll have a nighttime person as well. So we want to actually rent out these 2 flats to make it sustainable in the beginning. While we're creating the structure, the system, the blueprint, we're going to rent out the 2 flats to bring in income to sustain the people that are working there and the children, so that we're not relying too heavily on donors every month. That will be great while we're building a donor base, but we're going to actually rent out the 2 flats first for the house. Long term, technically we could have 6, so 18 children. You can have 6 in a dwelling, but again, that can only be like confirmed. It could actually be more, it could be less, according once we register.
How long do those kids stay with you? Is that
again, that's all different. So fostering could be up until 18, and then being a place of safety is 3 months. So it depends on the child's need. Every situation is very different. Registering, so we are going to register as a place of safety at first, so because we're just going to be using 1 dwelling. It's moved away from, it's not called orphanages anymore. You guys would have all known of orphanages. South Africa doesn't use that term anymore. We're now called CYCCs, Children and Youth Care Centres. We're first going to stay as a foster care centre, because you can have up to 6 kids. So again, we're going to start with the main house. And then as that grows and develops, there's a lot changing in our social development structure. So yeah, but anything between 3 months to 18 years plus minus is
really big time gap.
Yeah, so that's the other thing. You do actually trust. So a big thing we want to do as House of Promise, we don't want to have the kids there for 18 years. We want to create such a movement that we are a place where children are in for a couple of months, but there's such a huge shift in people's hearts that they're taking those kids. The best place is for a child to be in a family and in an actual household. So our goal isn't to have kids there for years. Our goal is to start speaking, educating, doing it more and more, so that it's going to be such a huge blessing when that house is empty. Our goal isn't to have a full house. But they can stay there for 18 years, if that makes sense. But we're trusting people will take those kids quickly.
Hi, Mikayla. Thank you so much. My question is, you talked about not having kids for so long and adoption is really hard. Are you doing anything with the parents? Obviously, like reunification is the ideal, but like, do you have an element where you're working with the parents or trying to get them the help that they need to get the kids back into a safe home?
Yeah, so there are many organizations that do that. We unfortunately that isn't my main focus. I think that's a whole thing on its own. Reunification is definitely the dream. I think at many times reunification has happened to the detriment of the child, unfortunately, because the biggest thing we're seeing is reunification is such a big thing, and the kids go back and then parents relapse, and then the kids go back to places of safety. So that is such a huge element. We're not focusing on that at this point. I think our first focus at this point is to build blueprints for environments and to get more people to step up and stand up and say, I'm willing to take a child. But reunification is definitely at the very center of our heart. I think in our community we have so many beautiful places and spaces that we definitely want to start collabing with, so that these parents can get the right help. So we'd love to have them go for more therapy and counseling and all those things. So I'm very passionate about relationships, and even those children having the opportunity to still see their parents and having connection is huge. So we would definitely be collabing with people that are already equipped to do that. I very personally feel very connected to children, and I would love to reach out to people that feel connected, feel equipped to work with the parents specifically. But that's definitely at our heart, would be to reunite and to find ways to get the parents help. Awesome. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Great. If anyone has any personal questions for Mikayla, I would highly encourage you to reach out to her, to DM her, to have a coffee with her. If you're really passionate about House of Promise, I think it's an absolute, there we go. Thanks, Meg. Please donate. It's something so small that you can do in the meantime. Mikayla, thank you so much for sharing your story, and we're excited for the updates and the progress with all of this.
Thanks so much for having me. Thank you so much for your 20 minutes. Thank you. Yay. Thanks, Ruthie. Thanks, guys.